विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्ता स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पश्चातादेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Rama Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Gaura Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Gaura Hari Bol Harinam Sankirtan ki jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So we welcome all of you to today's Sunday Love Feast program. Thank you so much for your association. And we have with us today His Grace Bhusara Prabhu. So Hari Bol! And Prabhu is not new to us. He is also disciple of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. And Prabhu is always very kind. Whenever we request him, he comes all the way from New Jersey. So thank you so much, Prabhu, for coming with your family. And I will hand it over to you now. Today we will continue the series of Nectar of Instruction. The verse number is number 8. Hare Krishna.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Ballabha Givanidhari Gopi Jana Ballabha Givanidhari Yasura Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yasura Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Ballabha Givanidhari Gopi Jana Ballabha Givanidhari Yasoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yasoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Radhava Kunja Bihari. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. The Upadesh Amrita Ki Jai. So tonight we're speaking from text 8, very important literature by the Rupa Goswami of the 6 Goswamis, very famous in Vrindavan. I'll just read the translation and repeat it after me. The essence of all advice is that one should utilize one's full time, 24 hours a day, in nicely chanting and remembering the Lord's divine name, transcendental form, qualities, and eternal pastimes, thereby gradually engaging one's tongue and mind. In this way, one should reside in Vraja, Goloka Vrindavan, and serve Krishna under the guidance of devotees. One should follow in the footsteps of the Lord's beloved devotees who are deeply attached to his devotional service. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Since the mind may be one's enemy or one's friend, one has to train the mind to become his friend. The Krishna consciousness movement is especially meant for training the mind to be always engaged in Krishna's business. The mind contains hundreds and thousands of impressions, not only of this life, but also of many, many lives of the past. These impressions sometimes come in contact with one another and produce contradictory pictures. In this way, the mind's function can become dangerous for a conditioned soul. Students of psychology are aware of the mind's various psychological changes. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is said, Yam yam vapi smaram bhavanti tyajati ante kalevaram tam tam ivatit konteya sadatad bhava bhavitaha. Whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, O son of Kunti, that state he will attain without fail. At the time of death, the mind and intelligence of a living entity create the subtle form of a certain type of body for the next life. If the mind suddenly thinks of something not very congenial, one has to take a corresponding birth in the next life. On the other hand, if one can think of Krishna at the time of death, he can be transferred to the spiritual world, Goloka Vrindavan. This process of transmigration is very subtle. Therefore, Srila Rupa Goswami advises devotees to train their minds in order that they will be unable to remember anything other than Krishna. Similarly, the tongue should be trained to speak only of Krishna and to taste only Krishna Prashadam. Srila Rupa Goswami further advises, Tista Vyajte. One should live in Vrindavan or any part of Rajabhumi. Rajabhumi, or the land of Vrindavan, is supposed to be 84 crores in area. 1 kosa equals 2 square miles. When one makes Vrindavan his residence, he should take shelter of an advanced devotee there. In this way, one should always think of Krishna and his pastimes. This is further elucidated by Rupa Goswami in his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. The essence of advice is that one should utilize one's full time, 24 hours a day, in nicely chanting and remembering the Lord's divine name, transcendental form, qualities, and eternal pastimes, thereby gradually engaging one's tongue and mind. In this way, one should reside in Vraja, Goloka Vrindavandam, and serve Krishna under the guidance of devotees. One should follow in the footsteps of the Lord's beloved devotees who are deeply attached to his devotional service. Om Ginam Timirandasya Gyanam Gyanam Shalakaya Chakshur Militam Jenam Tajmai Shri Guruve Namaha Vanchakalpa Taruvyascha Kripa Sindhu Vevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So thank everybody for coming. You know, we're coming into this temple, into this spiritual life to save our lives, right? Because it's very serious, very dangerous, as described here, the mind and its activities. Indeed, the mind has a tendency to draw us away into nonsense. If we're not careful, due to bad association, we can become impure, contaminated in the darkness. There's two things, you know, lighted consciousness and darkened consciousness, you know. Darkened consciousness from when somebody thinks that I'm only enjoying the senses. I don't care for who create everything. I'm ungrateful. I'm, you know, unhappy. I'm regretful. All of these bad things are happening. And what does bad association promise? You know, bad association promise, yeah, we'll give you so much nice things, I'll make you happy, we'll go to so much shows, we'll be ecstatic all the time. Does it really happen? No. Because that is the trick of material energy, is that material energy, when you get something, is nice at first, but then after, it starts what? Decreasing. Right? It's like I get a nice house, right? It's a nice house, I love it. After a few months, you know, it's just a house. I get a nice car, I'm getting a nice car. Hey, look, another car is better than mine, you know. He has a BMW. All I have is something, you know. So I'm tired, I get tired. I watch this movie, I watch that movie, I get tired watching that. You know, I get this, I do that, I get tired of doing that. That's the nature of the material world. And everything is promising that when you get this thing now, you'll be happy, you'll reach the point of ecstasy. It never happens. So. And that's the trick of material life. When a soul gets tired, then he says, hey, wait a minute, you know. Where's the real happiness? I'm not getting any real happiness, you know. I'm just getting the promise, but I'm not getting anything. And so when a soul comes to that point, then a soul decides that I'm going to find out what's really going on here. And I want to make find out what's going on, and then whatever I have to do, whatever trouble I have to go through to find that, to do that, I'm willing to do that. When a soul comes to that point, then, as described here, the next thing you want to find is the bona fide spiritual master. That is Krishna's instruction, the instruction of Rupa Goswami. Because just like Krishna was speaking to Arjuna, Arjuna was asking this and that and this and that. And then, but when he really got serious, he said, I'm really serious, you know. Then Krishna said, okay, now you're serious. This is the point that we bring ourselves to in life. If we're fortunate, we bring ourselves to this point, to find Krishna and to find Krishna consciousness. and to purify ourselves. There's no, when you find the bona fide spiritual master, he will remove all the illusions that we have about our people, our religion, our God. If we don't have the proper guidance of the bona fide spiritual master, we have nothing. We have nothing. Just like if you don't understand who God is, what do you have? You have nothing. You have just an imagination about God. So I'm going to love the imagination so much, right? That'll make me, the imagination will make me happy by loving the imagination. And if you ask people what is God, they have no kind of description at all. I don't know. So if you don't know what it is, what are you teaching people? That is the foolishness of the material energy, that people who don't know anything, they set themselves up as their bona fide authority in order to cheat the innocent people. Some people may say, by practicing this yoga, you can become God. So foolish people, they want to become God, so they rush to this, right? If you're God, what are you doing here, suffering? You forgot that you're God? So this is all foolishness. When you want to be one with God, when you want to be close with God, that means you have to be a devotee of God and a lover of God and a lover of God's devotees. That's how you find God. Anything less than that, then you're playing around with it. You'll have to take birth again. Because why? The soul has freedom. The soul has independence, minute independence. So the soul you cannot force the soul to do anything. You cannot force it. Even somebody is let us say some person is a vagrant in the street. You take him home, you show him how to clean himself, wash him off, put him some nice clothes on, like that. What will happen? He will go back again on the street again. Because you cannot force anyone to do anything. And that is why you have the material world, with people going this way or that way, Some souls become illusion, they go that way, into the illusion, into suffering, into miseries. And those souls who are fortunate, who strive to get into the pure devotional service, it's not like easy. I chant a couple of rounds and then I'm in it already. No, you have to struggle to find Krishna. You have to fight to find Krishna. You have to struggle. Everybody's struggling in the material world. A little fish is struggling, a turtle. When a turtle is born, the first thing is danger, head for the water, before you get plucked off by different, different animals. And then everybody's planning, right? The turtle's going to be born this time, so everybody's waiting when the turtle comes. Everybody, I want one. So right from the beginning of the little turtle's life, there's death. He has to struggle, In any form of life, it's like that. We're being preyed on by the other forms of life. In human life, we don't notice it so much, but we're being preyed on by false people, by false authorities. We follow them and we get into distress. Because to find, like I stated here, to find the right way to go, you have to find a pure devotee. Just like we have found Srila Prabhupada. Before we found Srila Prabhupada, what? Everyone was telling us, you're the body. You're not the body, you're the body and the soul is two different things. But the thing is that the body and the mind reflects your conditioned state of existence, so it's just like you. The body is just like you, and the mind is just like you. But it's not actually you. So it has to be understood by service, practice, surrender to a bona fide spiritual master and bona fide devotees. Bona fide devotee means that somebody who is just willing to learn and willing to is humble and willing to find what is the real authority. The actual thing is to become, purified. If somebody thinks that they don't have to become purified, they can just do it easy and become perfect, that's not going to work. Because just like somebody in a hospital, they're in a hospital because they have a disease. in conditioned life, we don't know what the diseases that we have, because we think we're all right already, so we have nowhere else to go anything. But that is not correct. We are impure persons, and we are in a body. Prabhupada called this material body like a third-class body. You get the body of a prisoner. You think the body is nice, we got a nice body and everything. We got the body of a prisoner. Something we had done wrong. You have to come to that conclusion. If you say, oh, I never did anything wrong, then you're not very intelligent in understanding what is going on. When you find yourself in one place, then you have to say that you came to that place due to karmic reactions from the past life. This is a very important point in Krishna consciousness. And what is that? That you have this past life. Very, very nice, but very hard to remember. Very hard to remember, but you had that past life. And now you have this life. And whatever you have learned from the past life, you still know it, and you still bring it to this life. And that's why you have someone from very young, they are interested in being a devotee. Or they may take to yoga, they become a vegetarian or something like this. Because it's coming from the past life, as described here, impressions. Your past life, you learn something. In this life, you say, wait a minute, I know that. So it makes you a better person. To avoid being a nonsense person, because you learned that from the last life. People who haven't learned that, what are they going to go to? The next life. It doesn't matter if you believe in the next life or not. You believe in this life, right? So similarly, the next life is there too. But you create the next life by your activities in this life. That's how you create the next life in this life. And even in this life, you can change your body identity even in this life. Prabhupada says, right? The caterpillar can become the butterfly. So a conditioned person can become a realized soul. That's not strange. You're part of God. You can do that. Why not? Krishna is your father. The process is open to you. Nobody is put away. You cut your own throat. Krishna doesn't cut anybody's throat, right? You cut your own throat. So the teaching is there. The training is there. Given to us by the bona fide spiritual master. If you do not understand about the past life, you can never understand about this life. The scientists cannot help us. The scientists, they can give us some nice, inventions. The motor car, I don't have to walk all the way from New Jersey. Right? So the material scientists, they're benefiting us in so many nice ways. The telephone. Now the thing is not to get the telephone. The thing is stay away from the telephone. Because everybody is into the phone. Right? So in this way, the material scientists are helping us in so many nice ways to make our life comfortable and sort of nice. But they cannot help us in a spiritual way. And for that, just like you need to take care of this body, the same way you need to take care of the soul. If you leave the soul untaken care of, what the soul is going to become? Unhappy. Anytime the soul is away from Krishna, the soul is unhappy. And you see that. You look in the street, you look at people's faces, unhappy. Why? Because the ecstasy is not there, right? You can't get ecstasy falsely. The material energy and the materialistic people, they are promising some things. And Krishna in the spiritual energy is promising some things. That what they promise in material life, they'll never get. What Krishna is promising, you will get. That's the difference. Why? Because they're not who create the world. It's Krishna who does that. All they can talk is until they leave the body. And after that, their talk is over. But those who follow the bona fide authorities, they'll get the happiness, they'll receive the ecstasy, what they're looking for. How you get in contact with the ecstasy? Very nice question. If you approach it like I don't need to love anyone, right? I just love Krishna. I don't need to think about anyone or helping anyone. I'll just chant Hare Krishna. And if you keep thinking like this, that you fix yourself with Krishna and you don't care about anyone, you wouldn't get any ecstasy. Because Krishna will be displeased with that. That you want him, but you don't care for his children. So why should he be pleased with that? People think that that is nice. If you want to find Krishna, you have to become a perfect person right here on this earth with other devotees and other people. And that way you'll find Krishna. Because actually, Krishna is in the heart of every devotee. Prabhupada used to say, if you're not self-realized, you're worshipping the deity, you're doing idol worship. Because you don't understand properly what you're doing. So in the Krishna conscious understanding, we train devotees to understand what it actually is. They don't have to try to become a mystic yogi with powers. This Krishna conscious understanding is beyond that. It's beyond that. People who are attracted just that surface, I'll become purified, I'll get some power, I'll get some students, I'll get them things. That's foolish. Krishna conscious person is beyond that. A Krishna conscious person, a good example is like our Lord Jesus Christ. A nice example of a devotee. And all these great saints in the Christian tradition that who loved animals, who loved people, all these things. That's Prabhupada said, that's Krishna consciousness. But of course, when we don't love the animals, when we eat them and everything, and we're all like, we don't like other people and all this thing, then how can we become Krishna conscious? Krishna conscious is not a false thing. So that requires, because it's so deep a science, it requires, training and practice and surrender. The part of us that doesn't want to surrender. Say the Lord wants you to do a service. You say, oh no, I'm tired, I don't want to do it right now. The Lord is depending on us, to be surrendered. So when he needs us, we're there for him. And then when we do something for Krishna, then what has happened? We become purified. We become a lover of Krishna. And then gradually, we become, as is described here, we become transported to the spiritual way of thinking, the spiritual way of being happy. That's one thing that we very much appreciated in Srila Prabhupada. If you see Srila Prabhupada in the videos or whatever, you can contact him and you'll see that that person is in ecstasy. That person is very ecstatic. And when Prabhupada said something, it could get right to your heart. Bam, just like with an arrow. Because he had potency. He had potency. And that kind of potency you get from Krishna by following, by surrendering, by applying. Hey, Nitai Nitai, Jarade. This very important point is that how somebody becomes God conscious is that they get someone that Krishna arranges them to hear from. Krishna makes that arrangement. And by hearing from that person, you can, if you get someone that Krishna has given you, like a spiritual master or some advanced devotee, that's called a Shiksha Guru, something like that, whatever you hear from that person will be coming directly from Krishna. That is the way it works. Anyone who sits on this vyas or asana has to be very careful in what they're saying. If anyone makes a mistake in what they're saying on this asana, then that person can get a bad reaction. You have to be very careful. Therefore, you have to get trained to be a devotee. Not like, oh, I know it from back home. Prabhupada didn't like that. Prabhupada said that some people in India, they were telling him that they know about Krishna already. So he didn't like that. And because he didn't like that, he took his whole program of Krishna consciousness throughout the world. So we have to be very careful. Not that Krishna has blessed us, so we're a nice family, nice opportunities for Krishna consciousness. We have to develop the attitude of a pure devotee, like Srila Prabhupada. You know, Srila Prabhupada came here with nothing, with no money at all, you know, $20 or something, just to exhibit Krishna's real potency. That just that one devotee alone could do everything and could ignite this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement in the rest of the world. It was already going on in India. So, you know, we have a lot to gain from this Krishna consciousness, because when you develop it, then your whole material life becomes better. It's not that we wait, our Krishna consciousness can wait a little bit till we develop our material life. No. By the development of Krishna consciousness, our material life will prosper. That is the way it works. Because Prabhupada said that when you offer water to the root of the tree, then the whole tree benefits. But if you try to water all the leaves and everything, then the plant will die. So it's very important. The root of everything is Krishna. We cannot avoid it. And it's Krishna is the one who brings you to him. You don't find Krishna on your own. Krishna is the one who draws you to him. And because you need the association of Vaishnavas, as soon as we associate with them, then very easily we can become like them. But you have to be impressed by a Vaishnava or a pure devotee. You have to be impressed with that kind of person. Not that we're impressed by a person who is just a materialist. Why? Because they have nice material facilities. These things are all temporary. You have to pierce these things and find a person who's actually going somewhere and actually attaining something. And that can be attained, something, if you don't follow this process that's giving very easy, then the next process you'll have is something very hard, which you cannot do. That's the problem. In the ancient days, people could meditate and attain self-realization easy just by meditating, and just by perfecting their lives by meditation. But today, you know, people can't even meditate like half an hour or anything. And so the mind is very fickle. You cannot stay thinking of anything for long. And so the key in how to do it for long and how to remain steady is in, that is called attachment to Vaishnava. That sounds kind of strange, but actually attachment to Vaishnava, love for Vaishnava, just like we love Srila Prabhupada, that is a big part of becoming self-realized. Don't underestimate that at all. As a matter of fact, if you don't want to do it without attachment to pure devotees and spiritual masters, it won't happen. Because that is a requirement for the spiritual world. The spiritual world, there's nobody cheating Krishna, running around on his own. Everybody is in order. Everybody is in line. Nobody's complaining about it. Nobody's fighting Krishna. We asked Srila Prabhupada one time, what is surrender? We hear so much about surrender. A devotee, when he surrenders, Krishna, and he becomes advanced by surrender. So we asked Prabhupada, what is surrender? And Prabhupada, he said, surrender means to stop the war with God. We have a war going on with Krishna. We may not know that, but the war is going on. And when we surrender, then the war stops. You recognize that Krishna is the one who is doing everything. And you're just the servant who helps Krishna and who loves Krishna. So that's the reality. It's hard to understand. Just like somebody, they grow a field, but they never really make the seed. They just get the seed from somewhere else, and then they throw it on the ground. So they cannot say, we make the plants, we say, we grow them. So there's a difference. And if you want to find who makes the seed, the same person that makes the seed is the same person that makes the planet. It's the same person that makes the universe. Big or small, it doesn't make any difference to that being. Tiny and big is just relative to the body we're in. So he's the tiny super soul, Isn't it amazing that we have so many powerful things like microscopes and so many technologies to see things? Up to now, they haven't seen the soul. And the soul is everywhere. So what is that? Their ways of gaining knowledge is limited, right? They're like bumbling idiots in the dark. So when we're looking for an authority that really knows what's happening, don't look for the material authorities because they don't know what's going on. They also, too, are subject to birth, death, old age, and disease. So they're not the authority. So if you want to serious, Krishna will direct you to that authority. And by hearing from that authority, you'll be able to understand clearly what you have to do. Krishna's giving you the time. Don't think that you have to throw everything away and just jump into the temple and become a devotee. You know, it's not that easy. Don't not take care of your material duties and expect to be Krishna conscious. Just like Arjuna, he wanted to become Krishna conscious right away. He was telling Krishna, I can go and become a sannyasi. I can live in the forest, you know. Forget about all this war with all these people. It's only for material things. Who cares, right? But Krishna said, that's very nice, you know, but you still have to fight the war. That's part of your spiritual life. So you should understand that what you're doing in material life is also part of your spiritual life. And then everything will be connected in one harmonious, loving service to Krishna. And all your misunderstandings about your people and religion and all these things will fade away. You'll get to understand different things. That religion only means to love God. And also part of loving God is loving his devotee. It's a very important part of loving God. If you don't love the devotee, you won't be able to, you won't be able to love Krishna. So these are the secret things about devotional service. They sound very simple, but when you apply them, you'll find out that they work very nicely. Because you have to become a quality person. Now the Krishna conscious movement will help you to become a quality person. That other people will learn from you, and other people will come to Krishna and be blessed just by what you have learned. So Prabhupada, what is Prabhupada? The name Prabhupada means that what he's there, he is teaching masters. In the Krishna conscious movement, it's not for foolish people. You might see a devotee, you know, looking simply with a kurta, dhoti, tilak, things like that. That may look strange, but actually that is the most advanced type of living that is available, the spiritual development. If it's just a religion, then you lose a lot. If you think of religion, then you lose a lot. And if you think of my people, again you lose a lot. So to come to that level, the training is required. Therefore, you know, you come to the program and whatever you hear, you apply it in your daily life. The important point here is to think of Krishna 24 hours a day. Now that's not really possible for a beginner, right? Because the mind, it won't do that. But how does it become possible for an advanced person to do this? You know, an advanced person, even they're sleeping, they're still thinking about Krishna. Even though they're sleeping. How could that be? And even when they wake up, again they're thinking about Krishna. It didn't happen automatically. The person practiced and practiced and practiced until one day that happened. So it's not that you have to be a blessed, advanced person to be a devotee. You could come from being a non-devotee. You can come from a person who's not very intelligent. You could come from any platform. And then you can rise to the highest attainment in spiritual realization. That is Krishna consciousness, and it's available for you. You know, and so you just have to be, as Prabhupada said, you know, you have to be greedy. If you just want a little bit of Krishna, you know, you have to want a lot, you know. You have to tell Krishna, look, I'm me, you know. I'm there and I'm serious. And I will, whatever it takes to learn, whatever difficulties I may have to go through, whatever the trials and tribulations, I'm willing to do that. And that's all. And then from there, Krishna will take care of you, guide you, and you'll meet actually devotees who you will, you know, develop the love for. The thing is that you don't develop the love from Krishna directly, you develop the love from his devotee. Then that becomes the love for Krishna. So Krishna makes a requirement, First, get to be a devotee. A devotee means a person who loves the Lord devotees. And not only them, that person has love for everyone. And that's why preaching is there, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? He's not, we become Krishna conscious, we become happy, we gone off, we take care of ourselves. That's not a devotee. Prabhupada, when he's a pure devotee, the spiritual master told him to do this. He didn't say, oh, my family, I'm old, so many excuses. If I would have used one of those excuses, I'm old, there's demons in the West, There's so many excuses Prabhupada could have used. There's too many non-devotees. No, but he took the risk. This is Krishna consciousness, You take the risk to find Krishna. You take the risk to be a devotee. You make a surrender. Forget about what people say. All you have to do is take care of your material life. The rest of the time is all for you and Krishna. Because your material life, that's just a duty to the body. If you don't feed the body gets sick, old, then you can't go anywhere. So you got to take care of the body. If you don't breathe, you'll get sick. And if you don't do anything with the body, you'll get sick, right? So the body, we're forced to take care of it. And by giving it prasadam, food that's not contaminated by meat eating and things like that, then our mental condition can become purified. Once all of this contaminated living, eating and killing and all this going on, then it's a big disturbance. The mind can never become purified. And as long as the mind is not purified, you cannot come to the point where you can get free from the body. And as long as you're not free from the body, you cannot be involved in tasting transcendental bliss and ecstasy. As soon as you can become free from the body by purification, that ecstasy will develop in you. And that's a natural development. But the thing is, once you have this ecstasy develop, then your problems are solved. Your problems are solved. That is the real thing. Because once somebody doesn't know about this ecstasy and happiness in the spiritual dimension, which belongs to the soul, then they're always unhappy. And that's material life. And unhappiness like that leads to what? Being angry at others comes from not being happy in spiritual realization. So everything is connected. And even somebody unhappy with material life, why? Because they made the unhappiness themselves. They're to blame for their own unhappiness. But they make it like, everybody else is to blame. So we get to find out how we can, first of all, attain this spiritual purification. It won't happen if you just visit the temple a little bit, and you have to make something drastic, a commitment. That's why we encourage people to get initiated. Your spiritual master tells you, chant so many rounds and follow so many principles. So therefore, you follow somebody. If you don't follow anybody, right, what are you following? Your mind. And, your mind is a criminal. You're following him. He's the one that got you in trouble in the first place. So how are you going to get relief from him when he's the one that got you in trouble in the first place? So that's why you need somebody else who's not you, a different person who is more self-realized and enlightened. You have to find that person. Anybody who's initiated and properly, then you're already on the path. You just follow it. It's not like you're just following that one person. We're not just following Prabhupada. We're following Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj. We're following Gaurikishore. We're following Bhaktivinoda. We're following Srila Vyasadeva. So there's a whole line of very advanced persons that we follow. You don't become Krishna conscious alone. Disrespect these other advanced people. That's not the way you do it. And so all of these things about, Prabhupada said to become a devotee, first you have to become like a human. Because as long as we're on the animal platform fighting and we can't have the intelligence that's required. Very important. If you don't do this, Krishna consciousness now, in this life, where you have a human body, you have a good opportunity. Krishna is giving you that. So you should take advantage of the opportunity. Then you have no excuse. If you don't become a pure devotee, you have no excuse. Because the Lord fulfilled his promise to you, to give you the devotional service and to give you a connection with the bona fide spiritual master, which is people who are unauthorized. They're trying to represent the bona fide spiritual master. But the bona fide spiritual master is connected to Krishna, not just to the impersonal Brahman, or what's called the white light, or whatever. So all of these, this is called the nectar of instruction. Means that when we get the guidance, it appears to us to be very tasty, like a nectar. That's what we call nectar of instruction. If you don't get the instruction, you won't get the nectar, because the nectar is in the instruction, the guidance. That's why we need the bona fide spiritual master to guide us. You know, in the beginning, we're guided by, our parents. We look at them, we look at our father, we look at our mother, and we learn so many things from our elder siblings. That's how we learn. And in spiritual life, we still learn by an example. Prabhupada is the example that we can learn by. And we can, just like Prabhupada's my spiritual master, Prabhupada's your grandfather. My grandfather is Bhaktisiddhanta. My great-grandfather is Gaurikishore Das Babaji Maharaj. And in this way, love for the family of Krishna consciousness, love for devotees, that's how you find Krishna. Because in each instance, you'll hear Prabhupada, he's talking about what? Love for his guru. Bhaktisiddhanta, what a great devotee. Yeah? Bhaktisiddhanta, he had told Prabhupada that what to do. To go to the West and establish Krishna consciousness there. So once the guru says something, you have all the potency of Krishna in the instructions from the guru. You have all Krishna. That is the thing that the bona fide spiritual master, what? It connects us to Krishna. This is the meaning of it. This is how we become connected in a personal way. Not just I know the philosophy. For one who has realized the philosophy is just a way to get to Krishna. But the real thing is to be in love with the advanced devotee and to be in love with the spiritual master. And that is the how you find Krishna. So it's a very nice instruction. And you should take it seriously. Not just this Krishna conscious movement is to train you to become an advanced devotee. It's not just for you to take part in Krishna consciousness. It's for just like how Srila Prabhupada started the Krishna conscious movement. What did he do, right? He sent one devotee to Australia, one devotee to this place, another devotee couple, husband and wife, you go to Germany, and therefore the people went there, and the order of the guru, those places became temples by those persons who took up the order. So we have to approach to get the order. The order of the guru is the order of Krishna. That is how we connect with Krishna, through his order. And that by his order, once we follow the order, then you'll become purified from the gross body. And your identity with the gross body will become vanquished. No longer you think you belong to these people. No longer you think you're temporary. So everything that you think with the body becomes vanquished. And then your love for other persons becomes awake, because then you see everything is spiritual. You have to be a qualified person to be in Vaikuntha. This is where you get the qualification. And that's provided to you by your loving Supreme Father and your lover, who is Krishna. Krishna is our lover, but we don't know that, then we're unhappy. But as soon as you can recognize that Krishna is yours, and that's who you really love, and then you'll be happy in life, because your life will have a destination, will have an objective, not just to grow old and leave the body. Most people, right, they grow old and leave the body. That's miserable. I have to leave my family, friends. If you leave the world unconscious, then that's a great loss, right? You had millions of dollars, but you lost it. It slipped through your finger. So don't let that happen. You have the material body, the human form of life. You can find Krishna easy. You just have to become purified. The mind, when the gross body becomes purified, what happens? It vanishes out of your And when the subtle body becomes purified, your mental activities, that also vanishes away as being the controller. And your real self, which is based on love and ecstasy, arises in you, and you can become a pure devotee. Okay, so questions? Questions are important. Any little question, doesn't have to be a big question, but any question is good. Okay, let's start from Murari. You have a question? Yeah. We have the books, and the books come from persons who have realized the spiritual world. So, and they give the descriptions, and that's how we find about it. But if you want to find out about it, you have to find out yourself. Because things inside of you, they're not good to use as example, you know. I say, Krishna showed me the spiritual dimension and everything like that. No, but that's not valid, you know. That's your person. Prabhupada said, you know, he saw Krishna and something like that. But that's not valid because that's his inner realization. That's like a gift. If Krishna gives you a gift, you're not going to say, oh, Krishna gave me a gift, Krishna gave me a gift. Just cool it. Right? So the visualization is there. It's in the books, you know. But it's given to us by pure devotees who've seen that and who've been there and done it. That's another level of spiritual life, that people actually attain it, you know. That's how come we know about it. All right? Prabhu? Nice question. Yeah.
In the translation it is said, one should reside in Vraj, Golok, Vrindavan Dham and serve under the guidance of pure devotee. So,
Yeah, I know. I was going to say that.
it will be tough for us living here. So how should we deal with that? Like,
Very nice, you know. The thing is that we have to rely on is this Vrindavan that's being spoken about is not a place or a tract of land. That Vrindavan is a place in the heart where Krishna resides. It's called a Guyam. So it doesn't mean that you have to live in Vrindavan, India, although that's very nice. But wherever you are, that's Vrindavan. Because it's the devotional service itself, and Krishna is Vrindavan. Just like you might find somebody in Vrindavan doesn't really follow Krishna. You might find somebody in India, they don't know about Krishna at all. Oh, Krishna, who's that? Yeah? So, you know, it doesn't matter because you can get access to Krishna and you can get access to Vrindavan. Doesn't matter where you are. And then, of course, you can always go there, you know. But if you just go to Vrindavan and expect to find Krishna by just going to Vrindavan, you won't find Krishna if you go to Vrindavan, you know. Because your senses have to become purified, you know. So anywhere your senses can be engaged in that activity of becoming purified, that'll qualify you to be in Vrindavan. So it's not like we have to be in Vrindavan to do the devotional service. All right? Anywhere you are is Vrindavan. Because you have access to Krishna, you have access to the pure devotees, you have access to everything. That is Vrindavan. Okay? Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Very, very powerful class. I definitely want to go back and listen to it again.
Me too.
Yeah, and we'll post the link. Such a powerful class. Thank you so much. One question I have is, like you were mentioning in the class, we have to become, or at least aspire to become pure devotees or advanced devotee. That should be our aspiration. So just coming to the temple program or any program will not suffice. So what else we should do? Because most of us are coming to the temple program only once a week. What else we can do so that?
I'll tell you a nice, very easy way to find Krishna. I'll tell you an easy way how you can practice finding Krishna. Is that if you think that there's actually no place that Krishna is not there. And if you know that there's no way you could not see Krishna, then you'll be seeing Krishna gradually. But first you have to know that there's no way that you could not see Krishna, first of all. We're thinking that Krishna is not there for us to see. That's why we have to fight to see Krishna. If we understand that there's no way you could not see Krishna, then we'll be able to see Krishna gradually. We can remain by gradually becoming attached. You know, we have this in the material world, that is a defect to be attached. But that same defect in the spiritual world becomes a plus. Right? So our fall down because of detachment and because of attachment becomes elevated because attachment. The same quality that makes us in conditioned life is the same quality that frees us in spiritual life. So you have to find what is about spiritual life that you can become attached to. You have to become an attachment. And you have to lead that attachment. When you find out about it, you'll become greedy. You'll say, when it's a Sunday or something, you'll say, I'm going to the temple. Nothing else will make you happy. And indeed, right, when you come to the temple, you sit in the lecture, and then when you leave, you feel like your life is accomplished because you've done the right thing. It will go home with you. You won't, it's not just the temple, it's the consciousness. The consciousness is the temple. So therefore, even if you're not in the temple, you're still in the consciousness. And so there's no difference between in the temple and not in the temple for a realized devotee, right? So we don't have to, that is how somebody can become Krishna conscious all the time. It's because they're not focusing on any time to be Krishna conscious. They're just Krishna conscious all the time, even when they're sleeping. When you're sleeping, if you go very deep into it, there's a part of yourself that can say, hey, Haribol, yeah? Yourself is a very deep, deep thing. So you should know that. And whenever you're sleeping or something like that, you should be conscious of that. So the whole thing is to understand your real nature, which is beyond the body. You have a magnificent nature, which is your soul. It is a magnificent soul. And you just have to rub off the impurities, rub off the false training, the false conditioning, mix his thing with his body. So it's just a matter of purification. Of course, you cannot do it unless you have this element that you're a loving person. That's the qualification. If you're a rough person, if you're a bad person, you cannot become purified. Prabhupada said his Western disciples is more harder to clean than coals. If you think you're purified already, just apply yourself. You say, oh no, I'm so dirty. So find how dirty you are and get it cleaned up. Okay, and everything is provided for you very easy. Any more questions, Prabhu? Mataji's? Any questions? Okay, everybody's satisfied? Oh, you have one question, Prabhu?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, Prabhu. I have a question, and you very briefly touched it while answering Prabhu's question. So in the verse, in the very beginning, it says one should utilize one's full time, 24 hours a day. So, yeah, how to be Krishna conscious while sleeping? Well,
that will take practice. It'll take some practice, But there's dreaming. Dreaming is also a way of connecting with Krishna too, right? So, but the thing is, when you become more attached to Krishna, even your dreams will contain Krishna in them, right? You'll be a devotee in your dreams too. You'll go to like a big kirtan in your dream. You'll go to see a temple in your dream. You'll do everything. So whether you're dreaming or you're awake, everything, you can be Krishna conscious in any way. That is the perfection. And then continuing to do that all the time. One day, gradually, you'll find that you're in the Krishna consciousness. You're in the light. Your whole life is a blissful life, And when you're happy like that, and when that happiness increases more, then you feel that you're strong enough to help other persons, which is the really goal of your Krishna consciousness, is to benefit other people. Material life is like mostly for us or family. So that keeps us in a conditioned state of thinking. But spiritual life is really for other persons. So you have to change to be like that. But the thing is, when you change to benefit other persons, that's how you find that your devotee becomes awake because of that. Just like Srila Prabhupada is a good example. So, you won't be able to do it 24 hours in the beginning. We have Brahmatmeti, Paramatmeti, you have neophyte devotee, you have Madhyamadikari, you have Mahabhagavat, We're like either neophyte devotees, some of us, Madhyamadikari just means that a person who is totally dedicated. There's no way they're going to give up Krishna. That means Madhyamadikari. There's no way they're going to give up Krishna. So a neophyte devotee you have to be very careful, because somebody could always say, what are you doing? What are you doing? You explain, I don't know what I'm doing. If you don't know what you're doing, somebody can always challenge you, you know. That's neophyte devotee. Kanista Adhikari, very fickle. So you have to make progress to get from, Kanista Adhikari to get to Madhyama Adhikari. Right? And then, Mahabhagavat, of course, that's on a level that we're not aware of. And Prabhupada said that Mahabhagavat, he can go with Krishna and come back again. He can go with Krishna's pastime and come back to the same body. So we cannot do that. That's Mahabhagavat. Wherever he goes, Krishna is going with him, doing everything for him, like Prabhupada. But we can attain that. But it cannot be attained like I want to be a Mahabhagavat. You have to be very careful, you know. It's not like a material ambition, I want to be a great devotee. It's not like that. You just happen to become a great devotee. But the person is thinking himself in a humble way, in a small way. The person is thinking, I'm a big pure devotee. Right? And that's pure devotional service. Okay, so no more questions? Everybody's going back to Godhead? All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Nitai Nitai, Haribol.
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma. Mando muhi savadana mate. Mando muhi savadana mate. Jahara prasade pai he bhavato jiya jahai. Krishna prapti hoy jaha hoy te. Krishna prapti hoy jaha hoy te. Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitete Koriya Kya. Arana Koriyo Mane Asha. Arana Koriyo Mane Asha. Shri Guru Charane Rati He Se Uttama Gati. Je prasade pure sarvahasha. Je prasade pure sarvahasha. Chakudan dilo de jamne jamne Prabhu se. Chakudan dilo de jamne jamne Prabhu se. Divya gyan de prakashito. Divya gyan de prakashito. प्रेम भक्ति जा होते अभी जब विनाश जाते दे दे गाय जहारा चरितो श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु आदम जलार बंधु लोकना लोकेरा जीवाना हा हा प्रभु करो दया देह मोरे पाला जाया हा हा प्रभु करो दया देह मोरे पाला जाया ए बेजा दुष्टि बुबाना ए बेजा दुष्टि बुबाना शीला प्रभु पति जपवाना शीला प्रभु पति जपवाना जय प्रभु पदा प्रभु पदा प्रभु पदा शीला प्रभु पदा गया प्रभु पदा जगत गुरु शीला प्रभु पदा निताय गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल
Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namane Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nivesesa Sunyavad Pastata Desatarini. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharini Nivise Sasanyavahari Pastata Disatarini. Pastata Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Shri Krishna. Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Shri Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare, oh Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Haribo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, all Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hari Bo, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, oh Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hari Bo, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, oh Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Nitai Gaura, Hare Bol, Hare Bol, Hare Bol, Nitai Go, Hare Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Vishnupad Paramahansa Parirakacharya Asata Shrimad. His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Parirakacharya Asata Shrimad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj ki. Anantakoti Vaishnavindi ki. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki. Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Gopinath Shamkun Radhakun Giri Govardhan ki. Prem Shri Gaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Gaur Bhakti Vindi ki. Tulsi Devi Bhakti Devi ki. Samaveda Bhakti Vindi ki. Ganga Mai ki. Jamuna Mai ki. Vrindavan Dhami ki. Mayapur Dhami ki. Jagannath Puri ki. transcendental book distribution key, Hari Nam Sankirtan key. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. And all glories to Shishi Guru and Gauranga.
Yeah, it's fine. So, Hare Krishna, everyone. So, my grandmother is not feeling well. She's a little sick due to travel and stuff. So, if possible, during this Nrsimharti, if you could keep her in your prayers, that would be wonderful. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Prahladalatadaine. Prahladalatadaine. Hiranyakashipurvakshaha. Hiranyakashipurvakshaha. Shilatankanakalaye. Shilatankanakalaye. Ito Narsimho Bharato Narsimho. Ito Narsimho Bharato Narsimho. Yato yato yami tato Narsimho. Yato yato yami tato Narsimho. Bahir Narsimho Hridaye Narsimho. Bahir Narsimho Hridaye Narsimho. Bahir Narasimham Adim Sharanam Prapate. Narasimham Adim Sharanam Prapate. Tava Karakamalavare Nakham Adbhuta Shringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Bringa Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Jaya Jagadisha Hare. वृषावधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय नरसिंहदेव 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 जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव नरसिंहदेव जय प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय 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 गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल नरसिम्हदेव भगवान की प्रहलाद महाराज की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदी
Hare Krishna, everybody. Hare Krishna. So I have quite a bit of announcements today, so bear with me. Thanks to Dhira Krishna Prabhu. And thank you, everyone, for being here today. Despite the Super Bowl today, so still people turned out, so that's good. I do see that some of the younger ones are not here, so we know what's up there. And so, first of all, thank you so much, His Grace Bushara Prabhu, for the class today and for gracing our program today. Haribol, Haribol, Haribol. And the wonderful little dancer as well. And we also want to thank Prashad Haure Prabhu. Last Monday or Tuesday, I think, we cleaned the carpet, and Prashad Prabhu arranged, and he was here to oversee that. So thank you so much. All right, so now we go to the most awaited festival of, at least for the next few months. This is a very important festival for us, which is the welcoming of Shri Shri Gaur Nitai to ISKCON of Harrisburg. Haribo Gauranga Nityananda. So many of us, I think, are curious about what the program is exactly on that day, because it's a long day, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. So I have the agenda here. It will also be posted. I think it's probably already posted, so we'll keep reminding you, but I'll just announce it here. So from 10 to 12, 10 a.m. to noon, we will be having the Adivas ceremony. Adivas is a ceremony which is done before a festival. I think most of you are familiar with it, just to invoke auspiciousness and whatnot. And we'll be starting with Kirtan, Harinam Sankirtan first from 10 to noon. And then at noon, we will be having Yagya, fire sacrifice to invoke all auspiciousness, even more auspiciousness. And for this Yagya, we invite all the donors who have donated $501 and above, because that's part of your privilege. We are offering that as an acknowledgement and as a thank you for your donation. So you can come and participate as a Yajaman. Yajaman means like the person who is how do I say it, Prabhu? Yajaman? Like, the host, yeah, it's like the host of the yagya. But everyone else are also welcome. So everyone, please come. It's beautiful to see fire sacrifice, and it's very, very auspicious as well. And, okay, my phone locked. All right, and then at 1:30 to 3 p.m., there'll be lunch prasadam. So if anyone wants to go home, quickly freshen up and come back, that's also okay. And then from 3 to 5:30, yeah. 3 to 5:30, very important. We want everyone to be here and participate in the Abhishek ceremony. So Abhishek ceremony of Sri Sri Gaur Nitai, who would have come from Mayapur. So very, very wonderful opportunity for us to be part of that. And for this one, all those donors who have donated $251 and above, you have the privilege to come and bathe the deities on that day. So please be present, but everyone needs to be here to see the beautiful ceremony of the Abhishek. And from 5:30 to 7, we will have blessings from senior devotees. So we won't have class on that day. What we'll have is blessings, senior devotees giving 10, 15-minute talk, each of them. And then it will be followed by kirtan again. And from 7 to 8, this is going to be my favorite. I'm really waiting for this Maha Arati. And it's going to be Gora Arati. If for those of you are familiar, the song that we sing for Gora Arati is, Jaya Jaya Gora Chande, Arati Ko Shobha. That's beautiful because it describes the whole process of Arati for Mahaprabhu. So to see that, it's just beautiful. Please go back and read the meaning of the song, and then when we sing it, we'll really feel the mood. And then from 8 to 9, everyone's favorite, dinner prasadam will be served. Hari Bol. Pujari from the back. All right. So that's the program. It will be posted. And okay, what else? The other thing also pertaining to our Sri Sri Gaur Nitai festival is please RSVP to the e-white that we have sent out in case you have not, because we need to know how many people we are expecting so that we can cook enough prasadam, can make all the arrangements for all of you. And you can also send that e-invite to all your friends and contacts that you would like to invite for the event as well. Okay, is that one? Welcome. Yeah, and if you want posters, I know some of the Prabhus have already posted the posters. Nitya Gopal Prabhu, Prasad Prabhu, you already post the posters in different prominent places in Mechanicsburg and around Harrisburg, so like the Indian grocery store and the restaurants and whatnot. So if you have any place like that where you think people who go to that establishment will benefit from, knowing that there's going to be a festival here, so please take some posters from Dear Krishna Prabhu and you can have it posted in that space. And yeah, I think I've covered it all except for one, which I also forgot last week. We are having Gundicha. Is that the one, Prabhu? Yes. So we are having Gundicha ceremony. So we are welcoming the deities, Sri Sri Gaur Nitai. They're coming all the way from Mayapur, Mother Anasuya and Parikshit Prabhu. They are in Mayapur now. It's beautiful to go to Mayapur. It's blissful, but it's also an austerity. It's not so easy because, it's a smaller village. So they have gone there to bring them here for us, and so we want to welcome them with a lot of love, a lot of preparations and whatnot, offering of love. And first thing is, cleanliness is godliness, not next to, but it is godliness. So we want to clean our temple, clean our environment, and that will also help us clean our hearts so that they can sit in the throne of our heart, right? So we are going to do Gundicha Marjana, which is on the 18th of February, this coming Saturday, right? Vinod Prabhu. Where's Vinod? Vinod Prabhu will be leading that. Thank you so much, Prabhu. But he's leading it, but that doesn't mean he's going to do everything. So all of us have to be here next Saturday. So next Saturday, if all of us can come here, and that makes the hard work lighter, we can all help to clean the temple. And on 20th, not 20th, when is Amma coming back? 19, right? So 19, the deities are going to go to Mother Anasuya's house first. So if anyone wants to come there to welcome the deities, That's also, I'm going, because when they're coming, we can still welcome them just with simple kirtan. So if anyone wants to come there, that's also nice. Yes, Prabhu? Oh, yeah, sorry. So the timing for the 18 is noon? Noon. Yeah, so noon, please be here by noon, and I think by 3, 4 o'clock, we can be done, because we all have been doing a great job in keeping our temple clean. So all the servant team leaders, you have been doing a great job. So our temple is very clean actually compared to so many other places I've seen. So we don't have much, but we have to clean off the dust and all that kind of things. And also, before I forget, team 1, 2, and 3 for the cleaning team. Team 1 is my team, Rupa Goswami. And team 2 and 3, I'm not sure who are the leaders, but you should know. We are going to be being the cleaning team for the festival on that day. So more details will come to the leaders and then to all of you later on that. And also Josh is here. He's working on the altar and it's manifesting very nicely. So please give him all the encouragement. Haribol! Yeah. So yeah, it's a beautiful time, it's very blissful, and we are going to it's going to be wonderful when Gaur-Nitai is here, even more wonderful. So thank you so much. Yes? Yes, and Dear Krishna Prabhu reminded me, I'm sorry, Bushara Prabhu, we would really kindly, on behalf of Mother Anasuya and Parikshit Prabhu, we want to invite you and your family to please come and give your association on the 25th of February for the Sri Sri Gaur-Nitai Welcoming Festival. Haribol! Thank you, Prabhu. And we have, if you want to stay overnight, we can make arrangements for accommodation and all of that as well. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. And please take darshan. Prashadam is served downstairs. Thank you to the cooking team. Yeah. Prashadam prayers. Who would like to read the Prashadam prayers? Jit Mitra? Thank you for volunteering.
Mahaprasade Govinde Nama Brahmani Vaishnave Salpa Punya Vatam Rajan Vishasnaiva Jayate Sharira Vidyajal
Sharira Vidyajal
Jarendriya Tahekal
Yogendriya Daheka
Jive Phale Vishai Sagare
Jivapale Vishesagare
Tara Madhye Jivayati
Taramate Jivayat
Lobo Mai Sudharmati
Lobhulmoy Sudarmat
Take Jata Katim Samsare
Takijita Katin Samsare
Krishna Bara Dayamoy
Krishna Baro Doyamoy
Korivare Jiva Joy
Gori Bare Jivo Jai
Sa Prasad Anlo Bhai
Prashadam Dilo Bhai
Jai Annam Rita Pao
Jai Anamrita Pao
Radha Krishna Guna Gao
Radha Krishna Guna Gao
Preme Rakosi Chaitanya Nitai
Premita Koshi Chaitanya Nita
Jai Nimai Jai Nitai
Jai Nivai Jai Nita
Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya
Prabhu Nityananda
Prabhu Nityananda
Sri Advaita Gadadhar
Shri Advaita Gadadhar
Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Rama Hare Ram
Hare Ram Hare Ram
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Mahaprasadam Ki Jai Jai Sri Radhe Shyam Jai Jai Sri Radhe Shyam Jai Jai Sri Radhe Shyam
Sadam is downstairs.